Make sure you're ready to get the scroll.
After this one?
Yeah.
Or during this one?
After, the break.
Wait. No, I don't know. Theo, should I just get it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't drop it.
Alright, well, here's one of our original compositions.
What's it called?
It'll happen in a second.
Wait, what are we doing?
Called Joey Button.
Yeah,
Okay. By me. Doesn't you have the scroll?
I do.
Okay.
Give me a moment. Everything's falling apart.
Okay, you need a moment? I do need a moment. Stall.
He needs a few moments.
Stall.
big props to Devin in our light box, by the way.
Yeah, Devin! Oh my god. That's all I
Like everybody.
Joey Button. Give me a second to get this. This is not legible. I know.
Okay.
Joey Button didn't know how long he'd been pedaling his bike when he saw it. But whenever he recalled the moment, he'd remember that his legs were tired, so it'd probably been a while. It didn't matter though. What mattered was what was right in front of him. It was the size of 3 men. 2 standing next to each other, and another standing on their shoulders. In other words, it was wide and tall. It had fur, which was a purplish gray. Too gray to be called purple, too purple to be called gray. It had big blue eyes, tremendous yellow teeth, and this is very important, it was smiling! Though Joey Button could imagine such a thing being seen as ferocious or intimidating, he himself was not in the least bit scared, because it smiled, and it waved, and then it ran away. Joey Button, who was 8 and was not really named Joey Button, his name was Joseph Williams, but his mother called him Joey Button, stopped pedaling. His legs felt like rubber, but that was the least of his worries. What had just walked past him, so calm, so friendly, waving like it wasn't a monster or a beast? If it hadn't been standing right there in the fur, Joey Button was certain he would have thought he'd made the thing up. A long time passed, cars drove by, a woman dawdled by past while pushing a stroller, a dog ran by, and a few seconds later, a man ran by calling, "Bowser, Bowser, come back!" And Joey Button decided he should go home. He wasn't sure what happened, but what he was sure of was that the thing standing there wasn't clarifying anything. At dinner, Joey Button distractedly ate his dinner. His parents exchanged looks. "Are you feeling okay, Joey?" his dad asked. He nodded, but then he took a bite of spaghetti and dropped it all over his striped shirt. The one with white and yellow stripes. A distinction to be made because all of Joey Button's shirts were striped. His mother said he liked striped shirts, but really that's just what was in his drawer. "Joey Button," his mother said, with a unique blend of admiration and admonition, "you're ruining your favorite shirt." Joey Button looked up from his plate and said, "Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you." His parents exchanged another look. This one, a look, and blinked at him. "I saw a monster today," said Joey Button to his parents. He described what he had seen in detail. The purplish gray fur, the tremendous yellow teeth, and the smile, not ferocity. His parents, who were intelligent people, but not exactly artists, laughed a little, and then his mother said, "Finish your spaghetti, sweetheart." Joey Button, unlike his parents, was an artist, and so he quickly went to his room and drew the big thing in great detail. He hung it on his wall. When his parents saw it a few days later, they shook their heads and laughed like, "Oh, Joey Button, what a character." 1,569 was the number of bike rides Joey Button would estimate he took to find the big thing. It took about 3 years to take that many bike rides. Then, one day, he didn't take one. This wasn't the result of a decision. He wasn't thinking about it, which is the point. Over time, the time between the bike rides grew, and then he stopped looking in every direction for the big thing. And then one day, he didn't think about the big thing. And another day, he forgot about it. But the thing about forgetting something is you don't know when it happened, because you don't remember. So the details around this part are very fuzzy. Then a great number of things happened to Joey Button. He had his first kiss. He finished middle school, then high school, then college. He got a degree art. He got a job drawing pictures of nature for textbooks. It was what his father called a good, stable job, and he kept it for his entire career. And he had his first love, his first marriage. He and his wife moved to the city to be closer to his office. Then they got divorced. He stopped being called Joey Button because his mother died. As Joseph Williams, he found a new wife. Her name was Sam. He took care of his father until he died. And then he and Sam moved out of the city back into his parents' house. He retired from books, and Sam got him a drawing table and set it up by the window in the attic. Draw what your heart sees, she said. This was an admirably poetic assignment, but Joseph Williams was tired, and he would have preferred if she just told him what to draw. He sat and stared out the window and saw nothing but trees. Trees! How many trees had he drawn over his career? After not very much time, he threw his pencil down, the beautiful one that Sam had bought him, and grumbled as he rose to his feet. His legs felt weary. He got down the stairs and heard Sam fiddling about in the kitchen in her retirement. She taught herself to bake bread, and now there was bread everywhere. Joseph snuck outside, not knowing what to do with himself once he was out there. He opened the garage. It was filled with his parents' stuff. An old tinseled Christmas tree collected dust in the corner. His father's tools lay lined up on the workbench. Behind some snow tires, 2 bikes were propped up by their kickstands. Joey didn't remember the last time he rode a bike, but he felt a flutter in his heart as he moved the tires and wrenched out his dad's old bike. People say that riding a bike is not something one can forget, and perhaps this is true. But the first few pedals on the bicycle, Joseph felt like he would sure fall over. Once he hit a stride, though, he felt the wind in his hair and he let out a giggle, a boyish, childish giggle, because he couldn't believe what he was doing. He pretended he pedaled for forever, he wasn't sure how long. Then suddenly, his thighs began to burn, and he stopped dead in his tracks. They say you can't forget to ride a bike because of muscle memory. The burn in his thighs reached right up and grabbed his heart and squeezed it, and suddenly, quite literally like a wave crashing onto shore, Joseph Williams looked up and saw something he hadn't seen in 54 years. It was the size of 3 men, 2 standing next to each other and another standing on their shoulders. In other words, it was wide and tall. It had fur, which was a purplish gray, too gray to be called purple, too purple to be called gray. It had big blue eyes, tremendous yellow teeth, and this is very important, it was smiling. It didn't wave, instead it winked. It put a hand over its mouth to stifle a giggle, and then it ran away. Joseph Williams pedaled faster than he ever had in his life. He followed its direction until he reached out the woods, and when he got out he ran. His heart was pumping, his blood so fast his chest was heaving. He had a trembling throat, and suddenly, out of nowhere, he had a heart attack and died!
Whoa, yeah! Charlie!
Don't worry, we've got another one in store for you guys too.
I'm not sure.
There's no reason not to play it.
Guys, there's no reason we
There's
should.
no reason not to play this song.
No reason not to! That was my acapella leader impression.
Okay, Casey, you ready?
Yeah.
Wait, I need my mic.
Oh, probably should get that.
That's kind of